Hill is the place to be. Since I was 19, you can find me, maroon and white tee. Stay grinding, you're not on my team to get behind me and stay behind. You will play behind. Man, I'm in a Mississippi state of mind, and this state of mind ain't a greater time. Take a break in line and just take what's mine. It's an R state, R place, and you can see that it's written on our face. This is our break, our race, and if you ain't with it, get out of our way. Now stand up in your seat, sling a cowbell to the beat. Got 3-6 on my cheek, my boy and B gonna rest in peace.
We just left it being in, cowbell to the wind, and this maroon and white is blending like I'm Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and my friends up in the den, and you know they miss a sip, and we coming for your heart, so before we start, gonna put a stint in. My state of mind is a place for these dime rhymes to mend in, and if you cross the line, that's the place that they're gonna be spent in. I'm looking at the Mississippi women, and the district got me grinning. You step up in the pen, man, you probably gon' get hit.
MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we
up the Star Vegas, we got that bar, baby. And all ladies breaking hearts, they call it sharp baiting. That identity, some crisis left you lifeless like your sparks. They need to decide who y'all move side, 'cause this state is ours, baby. Star crazy coming to pound, man, we drooling. You looking like a new kid in town, you gon' get bullied. You better draw back, bruh, we on the attack, bruh. We dogs of war, we coming forward, you can see that it's written on the dog tag.
And we ain't listening to what you think we gon' do, 'cause either way we coming for you. And it don't matter how we do, we gonna stay true.
'Cause that's true, maroon, and that's through and through.
'Cause from that L-I-S-S-I, the state from the stands with a plate in my hand full of cheese fries. S-S-I, got the beat me, you know that we believe. Hit the street when we're ready, check me eat on the Yeti, you can see that we're reppin' S-T-A-T-E till we D-I-E. Every place that we step in, so rap that in maroon and white. We're gonna rule the night, we're gonna do the fight song all the way down Main and I ain't gonna make it back to maroon tonight. Or wherever my head lands, long as that golden egg still stands behind that glass, I don't have to ask. I know we adding who I am, we in this shoe.
And we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU.
Was nice, the party was pumping, and everybody having a ball. Until the fellas start the name calling, and the girls respond to the call. I hear a poor one shout out,
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I see the dance people had a ball, 'cause Billy Fountains get out. Get back, Gruffy, bash Gruffy, get back, you flea infested mongrel. Gonna tell myself I man no get angry. Two 80 girls calling them K9. Hey, but they tell me, hey man, it's part of the party. You put a woman in front and a man behind. I heard a woman shout out,
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
say, a doggy is nothing if he don't have a bone.
Oh doggy, hold your bone. Oh doggy, hold it.
A doggy is nothing if he don't have a bone.
Oh doggy, hold your bone. Oh doggy, hold it.
All had a ball cause Billy Mountains get out. Get back, Gruffy, bash Gruffy, get back, you flea infested mongrel.
Well, if I am a dog, the party is on. I gotta get my groove on, got my mind, I'm gone. Do you see the rays coming from my eye? Walking through the blizzard, Digimon is breaking them down. Me and my white talk, short, dealing, gassy color. Any caliber do, I think I knew that's why they call me Pitbull. Cause I'm the man of the land, with it to me to do. Who let the dogs out? 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 Who let the dogs out?
Baby, come back. Said it kind of fool could say there was something in everything about you. Baby, what the hell? You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you.
And we welcome you back here to Starkville, Mississippi News Park as we are getting set for the second game of this doubleheader and the second game of this three-game series against Texas. As it is all for Alex weekend here. Bulldogs win a thriller in the first game of today, 4-3, thanks to a walk-off RBI double by Paige Ernstis. Drives home Abby Grace Richardson to give the Lady Bulldogs the victory over the number one ranked Longhorns of Texas. I'm Zach Sizemore, and I welcome you back to the second broadcast on the Bulldog Student Sports Network for Mississippi State softball. It is 74 degrees, about 5 degrees cooler than it was for the first game, but it feels like 73. Sun has pretty much set. Weather app and says that sun will officially set at 7:13, but cloudy day here, so sun hasn't really been out, and the wind has died a lot since the first game. Wind upwards of 12 to 13 miles per hour in the first game. It's chilling about 5 to 7, still blowing sort of right to left in the northwest-ish direction from the south-southeast, as the coaches meeting with the umpires has concluded. Still the same ump crew from the first game, except we have a change. Michael Thibodeau is still Michael Thibodeau moves from third to first. Donald Brown, who is behind home plate, moves to third. And Tanya Cash, who was at first, moves behind plate to be the home plate umpire, as the field is getting finished and starting lineups getting announced in any second. But we're going to go ahead and give you the starting lineups, and then we'll go to a quick break, and we'll be back for the first pitch. But we'll start with the Longhorns starting lineup. They have pretty much the same starting lineup as last game, just have shuffled around their batting order a bit. So batting first is right fielder Ashton Maloney. Batting second, center fielder Caden Henry. Second base and batting third, Mia Scat. Fourth and behind plate, Reese Atwood. Fifth, designated player Katie Simitz. Batting sixth and shortstop, Leanne Good. Seventh, third base, Katie Stewart. Eighth, first base, Jolie Mitchell. And the 9-hole hitter for the Longhorns is Katie Bennett. And your starting pitcher for Texas is right-handed pitcher Mac Morgan. She is a senior, has posted a 2.98 ERA, a 6-1 win-loss record in 14 appearances, started 8 games. This will be her 9th started game. Has pitched 42 1/3 innings. Has allowed 44 hits, 23 runs, 18 earned runs, walked 6, struck out 22, and has a batting average against of 273. And has hit 3 batters with pitches. And now we're going to move on to the starting lineup for the Lady Bulldogs who advanced to 6-1 in SEC play and 29-6 overall after that fantastic win not even an hour ago. But the batting order and the starting lineup is pretty much or exactly the same for the Bulldogs. Batting first in center field, Ciara Sacco. Second and third base, Nadia Barbary. Third behind the plate, catcher Jessie Blaine. Fourth playing shortstop, Kylie Edwards. Fifth in right field, Kiara Sells. Sixth in left field, Morgan Bernardini. Seventh designated player, Lexi Sosa. Batting eighth and playing first base, Riley Hole. And your ninth hitter, playing second base, is Morgan Stiles. And got a new pitcher in the circle for the Bulldogs. Raylan Chafin pitched all 7 innings last game, only giving up 3 runs in that 4-3 win. Not only allowing 4 hits, but their new pitcher for the Lady Bulldogs is left-handed pitcher Delaney Everett. She is a sophomore, has posted an ERA of 1.45, which heading into today was good enough for 6th in the SEC. Heading to the first game, Chafin was 5th in the SEC. But Everett was 6th in the SEC with that 145 and 20th nationally in the NCAA. So Chafin and Everett kind of that 1-2 punch as pitchers for the Lady Bulldogs. As she comes out to the circle to get some warm-up pitches in, as we were just about a minute and a half from the first pitch. Gonna expect it to be a good one, just like the last game. But only time will tell, as this second game got moved from tomorrow, Saturday, today, Friday, because of impeding weather. Not sure if it'll actually come, but the forecast said pretty bad weather. So that would have been tomorrow was going to be the 5th annual SEC All for Alex Day. Well, it is. And tomorrow was going to be, this game was going to be that game tomorrow, but they moved it to today. So instead of wearing the teal for this game or tomorrow, they will wear the teal uniform Sunday. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back in about 30 seconds for the first pitch. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. First pitch just about underway as Ashton Maloney, the right fielder for the Longhorns, steps in the batter box. Everett deals and ground, not just a ground, just a well-hit ball that goes straight towards the Bulldog dugout. I'm glad they have that mesh sort of cage surrounding them, or in front of them. Delaney Everett has posted a 7-0 win-loss record. Has pitched 38 2/3 inning as she delivers. Misses down low for ball 1. So 1-1 the count. Giving up 39 hits, 12 runs, 8 earned runs, walked 5, struck out 26, and 3 homers. As Ashton Malone gets an inside pitch for ball 2. Maloney, sorry, I said Malone, it's Maloney. Maloney has a batting average of .476, 39 runs, 50 hits, 7 doubles, 3 triples, 16 RBIs, and no homers. As Everett winds, deals, grounds towards thirds, Barbary over to first, and it is out number 1. Barbary, good job controlling it over to first in enough time to get the first out to start this second game here. As Caden Henry, the center fielder for the Longhorns, up to bat as Everett deals and catches the top for strike one. Henry, 494 batting average, 36 runs, 44 hits, 4 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, and 19 RBIs as Everett gets the call and delivers. Swing and a miss, foul tip straight into Blaine's glove, but still a strike. So 0-2 the count with one out. Apologies, one out here in the top of the first. As Everett deals, and it's fouled. As 0-2 still the count with one out. As Henry will look to get on base to start this game as Everett deals. And right down the middle for strike 3 and the second out here in the top of the first. Blaney Everett's 27th strikeout on the season, first of the game. As the Bulldogs are 1 out away from going 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. As Mia Scott, the second baseman, up to bat. Everett deals and grounds towards shortstop Edwards Krauser over to first for out number 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it to end the top of the first as the Longhorns score 0 runs, no hits. There were no errors committed by the Bulldogs and nobody left on base as we head to the bottom of the first, and we will see Mac Morgan for the first time for the Longhorns. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
Throwing stones at you. Had a wild heaven on it too. Living in your big glass house with a view. I thought you knew I had some help. It ain't like I can make this kind of mess all by myself. Don't act like you ain't helped me pull that bottle off the shelf. Been deep in every weekend. If you couldn't tell, they say teamwork makes the dream work. Hell, I had some help.
We welcome you back to Starkville, Mississippi, as we are now starting the bottom of the first. And left-handed hitter Sierra Sacco, who plays center field for the Bulldogs, is up to bat. One thing I mentioned in the earlier broadcast is that when she scores, the Bulldogs were 55-8, but she scored last game and they're now 56-8. As Mac Morgan, the right-handed pitcher, deals. Sacco grounds straight back to her. She snags out of there and just calmly tosses it over the first. So 1 pitch, 1 catch, 1 throw, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. That was a good connection by Sacco, just unable to get it past. If it had gotten past the pitcher, would have squirted it out into the outfield between the second baseman and shortstop. But it did not, as Nadia Barbary is up, and she fouls it down the first base line off the top of the net and out into the fans. So 0-1 the count with 1 out. Barbary went 1 for 3 earlier today as Morgan delivers. Barbary fouls it straight back this time, so 0-2 the count with 1 out. Barbary batting .369 in the season. She has 29 runs, 41 hits, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 7 homers, and 28 RBIs as Morgan deals. And misses low and outside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count, 1 out as Barberry fixes her ankle guard. Thanks home plate umpire Tonya Cash for the quick pause to readjust the gear. As Morgan goes fast and deals inside for ball 2. So far in the first game, Chafin took her time pitching. So did Kavan. And then to start this game, Everett has taken her time, but Morgan is fast. She gets there, gets a call, and deals. And as Barberry fouls it down the first base line again, so stays alive with a 2-2 count, 1 out, nobody on base here in the bottom of the first. And Jessie Blaine on deck next for the Bulldogs. But Morgan, as I said, she's already set, just got the call, puts the glove in the ball, and deals really fast. As Barberry drills it over the shortstop into shallow left field and gets a single here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. So Barberry able to see that pitch straight down the middle, get it just over the shortstop of the Longhorns good, and it falls in shallow left field as Jessie Blaine will be up to bat, runner on first, 1 out. And Kylie Edwards will be on deck. As Morgan deals, Blaine hits it towards left field. It's going back and hits the warning track off the wall. As Barberry comes thirds and holds up at third and is tagged out. She was advancing towards home when the third base coach told her to stop. She kind of slipped, fell. Tonya Cash moved from home plate to third and called her out. So Jessie Blaine with a great double, but Barberry eyes for home. Ends up getting tagged out at third. So, could have been great momentum for Kylie Edwards with runners on second and third and 1 out, but instead runners on second with 2 outs as we have a circle visit already for the Longhorns. And a pitcher headed back to the bullpen, which is Citlali Gutierrez. And that is spelled Citlally. Citlali. A bit of a tough name to pronounce, but thankful for pronunciation guides. As Blaine passing on some of what she saw to Edwards and Coach Ricketts. As the circle visit gets broken up by Miss Tonya Cash. And Edwards up to bat with 2 outs. As Morgan deals, outside for ball 1. Blaine stays at second. 2 outs here with a 1-0 count. As Morgan deals, Edwards fouls it straight back for strike 1. So 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Morgan gets set about 18 seconds left on the pitch clock and deals with about 15. So she moves fast, as we said. The only time she'll go longer than the pitch clock is if it starts before she enters back into the circle. But she deals, and inside for ball 2. So 2-1 the count with 2 outs. As Edwards steps back into the box, Morgan gets a call, sets, and deals. And low for ball 3. So 3-1 count, 2 outs, runner on second. And Kiara Sells on deck. As Edwards back into the box, Morgan already set, deals, and ball 4. Edwards gets walked with 2 outs. So runners on first and second as Kiara Sells up to bat. Kiara Sells, the right fielder for the Bulldogs. She went 1 for 3 last game, struck out, grounded out, and singled. So she'll look to do some damage here with 2 runners on. Kiara Sells batting .340 on the year, 28 runs, 32 hits. As pitch comes in, strike 1. But of those 32 hits, 6 are doubles, no triples, 8 home runs, and 28 RBIs. As Morgan deals inside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Still 0-0 here in the bottom of the first. In the second game of the doubleheader, in the second game of this 3-game series, as Morgan deals and catches the bottom corner for strike 2. Morgan, set, deals, sells, chips it, and over to second baseman, who able to scoop it kind of off the ground, toss it over to shortstop, and third out at second. So, no runs scored, 2 hits, no errors committed, and 2 left on base for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first. As we head to the top of the second, Delaney Everett walks out to the circle, and we'll look to have another 1-2-3 inning. We'll be right back. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
Blame me, and baby, I blame you. Oh, if that ain't the truth. I had some help. It ain't like I can make this kind of mess all by myself. Don't act like you ain't help me pull that bottle off the shelf. Be deep in every weekend. If you couldn't tell, they say teamwork makes a dream work. Hell, I had some help.
So we welcome you back here to the top of the second. Still about 50 seconds left till the first pitch of this inning. But just want to come back, give you a bit of an update around not just Mississippi State sports, but just sports in general. As your Diamond Dog baseball team headed down to Baton Rouge this weekend. They lost yesterday in a close one. And they are currently in a weather delay in Baton Rouge today. So I hope things get underway shortly. As softball had 2 games today, baseball had 1. And we are ready to start the top of the second. As Reese Atwood, the catcher for the Longhorns, up to bat. As Everett, the left-handed against the right-handed, deals, misses outside for ball 1. But as I promised, not just state updates, but updates kind of around sports. Michigan State trails by 2 against Ole Miss at halftime as Everett deals. Atwood grounded to third, Barbary over to first, and out number 1 to start the top of the second. So a great way to start the top of the second here for the Lady Bulldogs. But as I was saying, the school about an hour and a half north of us in Mississippi is up by 2 over Michigan State. Tennessee is up by 13 over Kentucky with about 6.5 to go in the first as Everett deals and misses outside for ball 1. So 1-0 is the count. And then Michigan, Auburn still to come. Purdue, Houston still to come. In women's basketball, Duke beat North Carolina 47-38 as Everett gets a call, deals, and it's grounded towards second over to first, and out number 2 for Katie Submits, the designated player for the Longhorns. So 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the second. And both of them started out as 1-0 counts, and then both of them ground outs as Leanne Good, the shortstop for the Longhorns, up to bat. South Carolina able to come back late to beat Maryland as Everett set, deals, and up high for ball 1. And NC State currently currently leads LSU by 2, 38-36 at the half. So some close games all around as we get closer to the championships of March Madness as Everett deals and fouled straight back by Good. Good did homer last game. Back in the 6th, it was the first run of 3 runs scored in the 6th to give the Longhorns a 3-2 lead. The Bulldogs scored 1 in the bottom of the 6th and then walked off in the bottom of the 7th. As Everett deals. And right down the middle, off speed for strike 2. So 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Or sorry. Apparently there's a 2-1 count with 2 outs. As Everett deals. And foul tip for strike 2. So apparently there are now 2 across the board. I thought the umpire had said strike 2 and it was actually ball 2, so that's my fault. Apologies. But either way, Delaney Everett 1 strike away from getting out at the top of the second. She deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. Out number 3. As that is Everett's second strikeout of the game, 28th on the season. So the Bulldogs with back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings to start the game as we head to the bottom of the second. And the Bulldogs looking to continue getting batters or runners on bases. But hopefully this time they can actually get some runs across. But we're going to head to a quick break. We'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. Welcome you back to the bottom of the second here in News Park in Starkville, Mississippi. As the sun has officially set as of 8 minutes ago. Lights are on, fans are hype as Morgan Bernardini, the left fielder, up to bat. Morgan deals to Bernardini. Morgan Bernardini, so Mac Morgan to Morgan Bernardini for ball 1. So 1-0 the count with no outs. Just missed the bottom of the zone there. Bernardini with a .340 batting average as Morgan deals. And strike 1 is called, so 1-1 the count. Bernardini with 32 hits, 20 runs, 26 RBIs, walked 5 times, struck out 9, 5 doubles, 3 homers. As Morgan deals, and Bernardini drills it straight towards the shortstop and caught for out number 1. Well hit ball, just stayed in the air just a second too long and gave the shortstop good enough time to snag that out of air. As Lexi Sosa, the designated player for the Bulldogs, up to bat. She bats .256 on the season as Morgan deals. Sosa drives it down the right field line. It's going, it has a chance, and it is gone. Home run for Lexi Sosa here in the bottom of the second, her 9th of the season, to give the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead. Bulldogs have started fast both of the games today. A homer in the first game in the second, and then another homer here in this game. So with a 1-out, Lexi Sosa takes Mac Morgan yard down the right field line. just past the right fielder's outreach glove Maloney for a home run, the 9th of the season. As Morgan deals and ball 1 to Riley Hull, the first baseman. Hull batting .225 on the season. 18 hits, 19 runs, 7 RBIs, been walked 8 times, struck out 6, 2 doubles, a triple, no homers. As Morgan deals low for ball 2, so 2-0 the count with 1 out. As infield comes in to encourage Morgan, and the catcher Atwood comes into the circle to talk to her pitcher Morgan after the home run and 2 straight balls. And that was a quick visit as she jogs back to the plate. Tonya Cash says play on with a 2-0 count as Hull steps in the box. Morgan deals. Hull grounds towards the third base line, bobbled, and the third baseman Stewart able to corral the bobble just enough. Looked like it nailed her in the gut. Able to grab it over the first for out number 2. So even though a bit of a bobble, she was able to control it and get the out. As Morgan Stiles, the second baseman for the Bulldogs, up to bat. She's batting .312 on the season. 20 hits, 17 runs, 18 RBIs, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts as she fouls straight back behind the Longhorns dugout. 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 4 home runs. She was the one that homered last game for the Bulldogs. Sent it right straight back into the left center, past the left center wall. As Morgan deals to Morgan Stiles. And low for ball 1. So 1-1 is the count with 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the second as the Bulldogs lead 1-0 over the number 1 ranked Longhorns. Morgan gets set, deals, and way inside. Almost hit Stiles on the foot. But Stiles able to move that foot out of the way for ball 2. So 2-1 the count with 2 outs. As Morgan deals and Stiles fouls it straight down. So 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Nobody on. 1-run lead for the Bulldogs. As a State fan, this is looking awfully familiar to last game and to Longhorn fans alike as Morgan deals and misses low and outside for ball 3, says Tonya Cash. So full count with 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the second. But as I was saying, this is looking awfully familiar where State took a 1-0 lead heading into the third. After the third, bumped it up to 2-0 as Morgan deals. Stiles drives it back towards left field. It's going, and it is gone. Bulldogs now lead 2-0 thanks to a left field homer by Morgan Stiles, her 5th of the season, 2nd of the day, on a full count with 2 outs. So Bulldogs using that momentum from the awesome, amazing win last game, the thriller of a game with the walk-off run to go up 2-0 here in the bottom of the second over the number 1 ranked Longhorns. Bulldogs looking to sweep the series already, or not sweep the series, but win the series with this doubleheader game today. As the head coach for the Longhorns, Mike White, comes out. And Mac Morgan is done for the day. She's thrown 30 pitches and 1 2/3 inning. And a new pitcher will come out for the Longhorns. And that will be number 77, Citlali Gutierrez, a junior. She pitches right-handed. And her first batter will be the arguably best hitter for the Bulldogs, Sierra Sacco, who bats .509 on the season. 54 hits, 46 runs, 33 RBIs, been walked 27 times, only struck out 9, has 12 doubles, 2 triples, 6 homers. So Gutierrez has posted a 6-0 win-loss record, has pitched 38 innings, posted an ERA of 1.11, allowed 20 hits, 9 runs, 6 of them earned, walked 13, struck out 42, allowed 5 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 homers on the season. So as she's warming up, we're going to take a quick break here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball.
She just a girl, claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. For 40 days and 40 nights, I was on the side, but who can stand when she's in demand? Her schemes and plans. Go and dance on the floor and around. So take my strong advice. Just remember to always.
We welcome you back to Starkville, Mississippi with 2 outs. Bulldogs lead 2-0 after 2 homers here in the second. As Gutierrez, the new pitcher for the Longhorns, is out. It looked like Morgan Stiles heard me because I was talking about looked awfully similar, and she's like, not today. Drilled one to put the Bulldogs up 2-0. As Gutierrez pitches in for strike 1 on Sierra Sacco. As Gutierrez deals and swing and a miss, strike 2 by Sacco. Oh, 2 the count with 2 outs. Gutierrez looking to stop the bleeding after 2 homers on Mac Morgan. As Gutierrez deals. And Sierra Sacco strikes out looking for out number 3 to end the bottom of the second. Bulldogs score 2 thanks to a homer by Lexi Sosa and a homer by Morgan Stiles. We're heading to the top of the third where the Longhorns will look to get something going on offense. And Delaney Everett will be looking for another 1, 2, 3 inning. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Think twice. Don't think twice. She told my baby dance to 3. She looked at me, then showed a photo. Baby cried, his eyes were like mine. Go and dance on the floor in the round, baby. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. But she came and stood right by me. Just a smell of sweet perfume. I guess it happened pretty soon. She called me to her room. The Billie Jean's not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. The Billie Jean's not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. No, she says I am the one. But the kid is not my son. She says I am the one. But the kid is not my son.
Welcome back to News Park as we start the top of the third. Bulldogs lead 2-0 thanks to 2 homers in the bottom of the second. As Katie Stewart, the third baseman for the Longhorns, up to bat. Delaney Everett has had back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings and will look to continue that streak so far as she deals the first pitch. And outside for ball 1. Stewart, batting .366 on the season, has 37 hits, 33 runs, 55 RBIs, 16 walks, 23 strikeouts, 6 doubles, no triples, and 10 homers as Everett deals. And Stewart fouls it straight back behind the Longhorns dugout. As 1-1 is the count now. Everett winds and deals, and it's hit straight back towards the second baseman, over to first for out number 1. Great awareness by Morgan Stiles to track down that ball, corral it, and throw it over to first. As fans applaud, and it looks like we've got More firefighters joining us here at News Park. Now you've got the ladder and the engine instead of just the ladder. As Jolie Mitchell, the first baseman for the Longhorns, up to bat as ball one comes in. Mitchell batting .395 on the season, 27 runs, 32 hits, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 7 homers, and 28 RBIs. As Everett delivers, and it's popped straight towards the second baseman, Morgan Stiles, who grabs it for out number 2. So back-to-back great plays by Morgan Stiles. Great heads-up play, and the Bulldogs are one more out from a 1-2-3 inning for the third time in a row this game. As Katie Bennett, the left fielder, up to bat, Everett deals and misses top left for ball one. Bennett batting .347 on the year. 26 hit, 22 runs, 9 RBIs, 15 walks, 9 strikeouts, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer. As Everett sets, deals, and up high for ball 2. So 2-0's the count with 2 outs. As Bennett steps out, takes a second to get some practice swings in. Everett enters the circle again. The left-handed pitcher has had a pretty dominant performance so far as she delivers. And it's fouled straight back for strike 1. So 2-1 the count with 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the third as the Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead over the number 1 ranked Longhorns from Texas. Pretty good turnout here tonight for this doubleheader as Everett deals. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As it looks like something was called by third baseman Donald Brown that reverses a call of 3-1, so 3 balls, 1 strike. Strike 2 is now called for a full count with 2 outs. Not sure if it's a balk or what. Not something you see every day as Everett deals, and it's fouled back behind the Bulldog dugout. So Bennett will stay alive with a 3-2 count, 2 outs. Still confused about why the swing and a miss strike was changed to a ball, but sometimes we don't get answers for everything that we would like. As Everett deals, and it's fouled straight towards the Bulldog dugout. Nails the door that enters into the dugout. Glad that thing is closed, because those softballs are very hard indeed. So 3-2 still the count with 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the third. Bulldogs lead 2-0 as Everett deals, and a swing and a miss, ball gets away, and she gets safely to first. So, because of a passed ball on a swing and a miss, Bennett was able to get safely to first. So, not a hit, but an error, I believe, will go against the Bulldogs. As the order flips over for the Longhorns, Everett deals, and it's fouled straight back by Ashton Maloney. But it looks like the official stat is Bennett struck out swinging, but she reached first on a wild pitch. So not a passed ball, but a wild pitch, as Everett has a 0-1 count with 2 outs, deals, and misses down low for ball 1, so 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, with a runner on first. As it won't be counted as an error, but just a wild pitch. So Everett deals, and it's fouled behind the Bulldog dugout for strike 2. So 1-2 the count with 2 outs. If you can't tell, I'm still learning softball. When things are called errors, when things aren't. I'm getting the hang of it, but still a lot of ways to go. As Everett deals to Maloney, and it's fouled back again behind the Bulldogs dugout. Off the net, back in the infield, and Barbary catches it, but strike 2. It will remain with 2 outs. Runner on first for Maloney, the right fielder, who grounded out in her first appearance back in the first. As Everett deals, swing and a miss, strike 3. This time she gets it for sure to end the inning. So, not a 1-2-3 inning. Should have been, but because of a wild pitch, runner advances safely to first. But no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 technically left on base. In the top of the third, as we head to the bottom of the third, and the Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead over the Longhorns, and we'll look to add to that. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. Top of the third about underway here at News Park in Starkville, Mississippi, as the Bulldogs lead 2-0 over the Longhorns, and Nadia Barbary, who bats second for the Bulldogs, is up to bat. Barbary singled and later got thrown out at third because she advanced too far home on a double from Jesse Blaine as Gutierrez deals, and Barbary fouls it straight back and ends up in the stands. So 0-1 is the count. As Barbary will look to get back on base again. As Gutierrez deals and bounces it off of the dirt for ball 1. So 1-1 the count, no outs. Looked like just a really early release, or just slipped out of her hand. As Barbary gets back into the box, Gutierrez gets the call and delivers and catches the inside corner for strike 2. So 1-2 is the call now. No outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. As Gutierrez delivers and gets the dirt once again for 2-2. Looks like she's having a bit of problem. A couple of... I cannot speak. Looks like she's having a bit of a problem with some of these pitches. Just releasing early or slipping out as she deals. And Barbary pops it up straight back and into the stands. So count will remain 2-2. As I'm not sure if you guys can hear, but fans liking what they've seen so far through just about 2 1/3 innings. As Gutierrez deals, Barbary fouls it straight down, so count will once again remain 2-2. As if you're happy and you know it, plays along. Fans are clapping because they are happy for sure as the Bulldogs lead 2-0. As Gutierrez deals, and Marbury almost swings but doesn't, and it misses really high for ball 3. So full count with no outs here to start the bottom of the third. Atwood unable to grab that one. It's a bit high and to the right for her. As Gutierrez deals, Marbury grounds it over towards shortstop, over to first, and got there safely. Or not, sorry, the ball got there in time for out number 1. So Marbury was, no joke, just half a step too late, otherwise she would have been safe. But Gutierrez able to get the first out here. And the bottom of the third, and will now face Jessie Blaine, who doubled her first time at bat as the pitch comes high for ball 1. Blaine doubled and ended up staying at second in the first. Unfortunately, the ball wasn't able to chill in the outfield long enough to allow Marbury to get home. But Gutierrez deals, and ball 2, once again high. So 2-0 the count with 1 out. As Blaine steps back into the box. Gutierrez gets set. Gets the call. And delivers. And down inside and low for ball 3. So 3-0 count here. In the bottom of the third with 1 out. Jessie Blaine up to bat. As Gutierrez deals. And catches the inside for ball or strike 1. 3-1 the count with 2 outs. And as Gutierrez gets set. Deals. Blaine drives it to shallow left field, and it falls for a single. Jessie Blaine now 2 for 2 today. A double and now a single. So a 1-out single for Jessie Blaine. As Kylie Edwards will be up to bat for the Bulldogs. Edwards was walked her first time up to bat. So we'll look to this time get on base via a hit. As Gutierrez gets the call. Edwards is set. Gutierrez deals. And right down the middle for strike 1. Edwards, 316 on the season. 31 hits. 22 runs. 27 RBIs. 7 doubles, 7 homers. As Gutierrez deals. Dribbles it. Ball gets away from Atwood. And Blaine advances safely to second. So a wild pitch will allow Jessie Blaine to take second safely. Got that one there. Not a wild pitch. Or sorry, not a passed ball, but a wild pitch. As it looks like we will have a pinch runner now for Jessie Blaine, which is number 1, Greta Grassel. Probably to give Jessie Blaine a chance to get her catching gear on if needed. But as of now, 1s across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out as Kylie Edwards is up to bat. As Gutierrez deals, Edwards fouls it down the third base line. So count now 1 and 2 with a runner on second and 1 out. As Edwards called for time and now steps back into the box. Gutierrez gets the call, delivers, and down low for ball number 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second. as Gutierrez deals. And low for ball 3. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. So a 3-2-1, as I like to call it, or as most broadcasters like to call it. As Gutierrez deals, Edwards fouls it straight back, so count remained 3-2. Edwards back in the bunt. Gutierrez set. Looks to her wrist and gets the call. Deals. And ball 4. Edwards walked for the second time tonight, as Kiara Sells will be up to bat with 1 out, runners on first and second. As we'll have another circle visit by the Longhorns. Coaching staff probably just checking in on Gutierrez, making sure she's all right. Giving them a chance to just breathe, figure things out, and take a second to regroup. As just when you think the audience, or sorry, the fans start shrinking, more and more start coming. So a great crowd today in the second game of All for Alex weekend, as circle visit gets broken up by home plate umpire Tonya Cash. And with 1 out, the right fielder Kiara Sells up to bat with runners on first and second. So Gutierrez gets a call, gets set, and delivers. And ball 1 as the ball gets away. And Greta Grassel advances to third. Kylie Edwards will stay at first, but Grassel will head towards third. So runners on the corner now, 1-0 count with 1 out. As Atwood steps in front of home plate, gives a signal to the infield and possibly the outfield. Gets down. Gutierrez gets set, deals. Sells pops it towards center field. It's going back. Center fielder brings it back. Catches it as Grassel tags up, heads for home, and scores safely. So Henry with the fly-out catch, but unable to get it back into the infield in enough time. So Grassel will score from third to put the Bulldogs up 3-0 over the Longhorns, with Kylie Edwards still at first and Morgan Bernardini, the left fielder, up to bat now. She lined out back in the second as Gutierrez gets a call, gets set, deals, and strike 1 is called. Catches about the bottom middle corner. No, not just, it was about bottom middle, but closer to the corner than the actual middle as Gutierrez deals. And way down low for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first. Bulldogs have added 1 to their lead to make it 3-0. Gutierrez deals, and Bernardini fouls it straight down. So count now 1-2 with 2 outs. If Bernardini can get on base safely and allow Kylie Edwards to also be safe or get walked, Lexi Sosa will have a chance to hit with 2 runners on. It's Gutierrez deals, and Bernardini with a great hit, but just better heads-up play by the second baseman Scott, who's able to reach down, snag it out of air for out number 3. So a sac fly by Kiara Sells allows Grassel from third to score. And after that inning, the Bulldogs now have 5 hits and 3 runs, and they left 1 runner on base here at the bottom of the third. Well, we're headed to the top of the 4th here, as the Bulldogs will look to continue the no-hitter they have so far. Hopefully I didn't just announce or jinx them, but we'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
Along, there's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore, where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, well, I wanna drive it all night long. Through all these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. I love you now like I loved you then. This is the road and these are the hands. Come on, sing me to those Memphis nights, the Copper Pass, the Vancouver's lights, and knock me down and back up again. You're in my blood, I'm not a lonely man. There's no road I can hold, a road so rough, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in, to tell her we're survivors. Life is a highway, but I wanna ride it all night long. Woo! You're going.
Bottom of the fourth now underway here in Starkville, Mississippi, as the center fielder Caden Henry for the Longhorns is up to bat. She struck out looking back in the first as Everett deals and fouled towards the Bulldog dugout for strike one. Everett has 4 strikeouts already through 3 innings as Everett deals and catches the outside for strike 2. Looked way outside to me, but Tonya Cash said strike 2. As Everett now with an 0-2 count gets ready to deal to Henry, and it's popped up towards left field going back. It's the left fielder Bernardini, and she catches it for out number 1. So Bulldogs with I'd have to say great defensive performance so far to start this game, and now have Mia Scott, the second baseman, up to bat for the Longhorns. She grounded out back in the first. She bats third for the Longhorns as Everett deals and misses the top for ball 1. Scott back into the box. Everett winds and deals and catches the top for strike 1. So 1-1 the count with 1 out, aka ones across the board. As Everett gets the call, set, deals, and is fouled straight back for strike 2. So 1-2 the count with 1 out. Mia Scott seeing the ball well, but not able to make contact as Everett will get the call. Starter delivery, deal, and it's fouled once again into the Bulldog dugout. As Everett makes her way back into the circle with a 1-2 count, 1 out against Mia Scott, the second baseman for the Longhorns, who's batted .444 on the season. As Everett deals and misses high for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Everett deals, and it's fouled again by Scott. So Scott doing a great job of staying alive and making contact, even though it's not great contact, just making some contact to keep her bat alive here in the top of the 4th. Down by 3 as Everett deals, and it's popped towards center field. It's going back. The center field is ranged back to the wall. She leads up, and it just misses. over the head of Sierra Sacco, and it is out of here for a solo home run by Mia Scott in the top of the fourth to cut into the Bulldogs' lead, and the Bulldogs now lead 3-1. Thanks to that one-out solo homer. It's a good kind of off-speed pitch there by Everett, but Scott saw it the entire way through and made great contact this time on a good swing. And because of the wind, or no wind here, it carried out of the park as Reese Atwood, the catcher, up to bat for the Longhorns. And Everett deals for ball one. Atwood batting .414 on the season. She's 0 for 1 today with a ground out as Everett deals and up high for ball two. So 2-0 the count with one out. 3-1 is the score. As Everett gets the call, deals, and Atwood pops it up towards the infield and caught by the second baseman, Morgan Stiles, for out number 2. So after a one-out solo homer by Mia Scott, the Bulldogs able to get an infield, fly out, or an infield pop out for out number 2 as Katie Submits, the designated player for the Longhorns, up to bat. She grounded out back in the second as Everett deals and fouled straight back by Submits. As Everett gets the call with an 0-1 count with 2 outs, she delivers and misses just high and outside for ball 1. So 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. As Katie Submits look to keep this inning alive as the pitch comes, and she grounds straight past second baseman. Stiles able to grab it, throw it over the first, but not in time as Submits gets a 2-out single here in the top of the fourth. Stiles did a great job just hustling over there to make sure the ball didn't leak into the outfield, but just unable to turn and throw it from the ground. As Leanne Good, the shortstop for the Longhorns, up to bat with a runner on first and 2 out. And we will have a circle visit for the Lady Bulldogs. As it looks like the broadcaster's jinx has come. That's for sure. As heading into the fourth, they hadn't allowed a hit. They have now allowed 2 and 1 run. Run coming off of a solo homer by Mia Scott. As the circle visit wraps up, Jessie Blaine heads back towards home plate. And Leanne Good, the shortstop, up to bat. She's batting .354 on the season. She's 0 for 1 today, struck out in the top of the second. As she makes her way into the box, and Everett into the circle. Everett gets the call. Wines delivers, and straight down the middle for strike 1. So 0-1, 2 outs, runner on first here in the top of the fourth. As Everett deals and popped straight back for a foul ball. So 0-2 now the count with 2 outs. Good steps into the box after a quick fix of her wrist guard. Everett delivers and misses outside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Bulldogs lead 3-1 here in the top of the fourth. As Everett gets set, deals, and it's popped up down to the left field line, going back over, and it is foul. Morgan Bernardini was racing over, but the ball ended up in the Bulldog bullpen. So 1-2 still to count with 2 outs for Leanne Good as Everett deals, and it's popped down the right field line, going back, and caught by the second baseman Morgan Stiles, as it ended up getting held in air, ended up in short or shallow right field. So Bulldogs gave up 2 hits and 1 run here in the top of the 4th, and will head to the bottom of the 4th with a 3-1 lead, and Lexi Sosa up to bat, who homered in the 2nd. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
I wanna drive it all night long. Gimme, 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 yeah. Life is a highway. Well, I wanna ride it all night long. Yeah. If you're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. There was a distance between you and I. A misunderstanding once, but now we look it in the eye. There ain't no law that I can't hold. The road so rough, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Tell me we're survivors. Life is a highway, but I wanna ride it all night long. Yeah, you're going my way, but I wanna drive it all night long.
Welcome back to Starkville, Mississippi, as we start the bottom of the 4th, and Lexi Sosa up to bat. She homered back in the 2nd. Will look to replicate that at bat as Gutierrez deals, and straight down the middle for strike 1. So 0-1 the count here for Gutierrez. Gutierrez, a right-handed pitcher, gets the signal, deals, and misses outside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count with no outs. As Sosa gets set, Gutierrez now set. Pitch comes, out wide for ball 2. So 2-1 the count, no outs. Nobody on as the Bulldogs lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th over the number 1 ranked Longhorns. They've already beaten them once today and will look to win the series today as Sosa grounds towards second, takes an awkward bounce, but the second baseman, Scott, able to read that awkward bounce, corral it, and over to first for the first out. As Riley Hull will now be up to bat for the Bulldogs. She grounded out in the 2nd. And we'll look to get on base, or better yet, score here in the bottom of the 4th. As Hull steps into the box, a left-handed hitter against a left-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher as Gutierrez deals and misses out wide for ball 1. So 1-0 the count with 1 out. Hull back into the box. Gutierrez call. Set. Delivers. And catches the inside, or the outside of the box for strike 1. So 1's across the board. 1 strike, 1 ball. No outs. As Gutierrez deals and misses way outside and low for ball 2. So 2-1 the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. As Gutierrez has come in and kind of shoring things up for the Longhorn as she deals. Swing and a miss for Riley Hull. 2 balls, 2 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. As Gutierrez pitches and misses down low and outside for ball 3. So a full count with 1 out, or a 3-2-1. As Hull into the box. Gutierrez set. And here comes a full count pitch. As it catches the outside corner. It says Tonya Cash, but nobody likes that here at News Park. Looked like the pitch was outside. And Hull should have gone to first, but Tonya Cash said otherwise. So strike out number 2 for Gutierrez as Morgan Stiles, the second baseman, up to bat. As it misses the bottom for ball 1. So 1-0 count with 2 outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th. As the Bulldogs look to add on to their 2-run lead, Stiles shows bunt, pulls back, swings, and it heads back towards center field. It's going back, center fielder going back, and catches it for out number 3 as the center fielder, Keaton Henry, for the Longhorns. As fans are still giving it to Tonya Cash, the home plate umpire, for what they believe was a missed call. She called strike 3. They believe it should have been a ball. But either way, we head to the top of the 5th. Here as the Bulldogs will look to stop the Longhorns from adding on to the deficit. Longhorns trail 3-1 here. And we'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. So we welcome you back here to the top of the 5th in Starkville, Mississippi at News Park as your Lady Bulldogs lead the number 1 ranked Longhorns of Texas 3-1. A couple of changes for the Bulldog defense. Jesse Blaine is no longer your catcher. Instead will be Ella Wesolowski. And instead of Delaney Everett pitching, we now have Raylan Chafin. Chafin pitched all 7 innings last game. And he gets the win thanks to a walk-off double of Paige Ernstis. But besides that, everything else stays the same. So new pitcher, new catcher. As Katie Stewart, the third baseman for the Longhorns, who grounded out in the 3rd, is up to bat. As Chafin winds, delivers, and straight down the middle for strike 1. 0-1 now the count. As after 4 innings, Delaney Everett's night is done. As Chafin will pitch and fouled for strike 2. So 0-2 the count. As Tonya Cash walked out to give Chafin the ball and then wipes off home plate. And as Chafin gets a call, gets set. The Stewart is set. Chafin delivers and dribbles it across the dirt for ball one. So 1-2 is the count. As Chafin gets the call and delivers and misses high for ball two. So 2-2 is the count with no outs. Nobody on here in the top of the fifth. As we now finally have a bit of an update about the Bulldog baseball team down in Baton Rouge against LSU. Game time is now 8:15, so should start any second now. As Chafin delivers and misses out wide, so full 2 count. I cannot speak whenever I try and say full count. So a full count here in the top of the fifth for the first batter of the inning, Katie Stewart. As Chafin, who pitched all 7 innings of last game, comes in and will look to stay hot as she deals and nails Stewart in the first. So Stewart will advance to first on a hit by pitch. So no outs here. Score remains 3-1 as Jolie Mitchell, the first baseman for the Longhorns, up to bat. She lined out in the third. As Chafin delivers, and it's a bunt. First baseman Hole grabs it over to first for out one. Morgan Stiles ran over to second to cover. Looked to second. Edwards was there, but Stewart got there safely. So a sack bunt to advance the runner at first. So out one, runner on second, as the new batter for the Longhorns is Bennett. Katie Bennett, the left fielder. As Chafin delivers, and it's popped towards center field, going back. Center fielder Sacco grabs it, throws it in field, and keeps Stewart, who's at second, there. So a great hit there by Bennett, but just better defense and tracking of the ball there by Sacco, who raced from her spot over by probably about the first double S, about the first double S, all the way over to about the E on the Mississippi State at the back wall to get out number 2. As the top of the order comes for the Longhorns, Ashton Maloney, the right fielder, who's 0 for 2 on the day. As off-speed pitch falls in for strike 1. Maloney grounded out in the first, struck out in the third. Chafin gets the call, delivers, and it's popped towards center field, and Sacco doesn't even have to move, and she catches it for out 3. So Bulldogs keep the score 3-1 after a great defensive outing, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th. Chafin comes in for Everett, and Chafin had pitched all of last game for the Bulldogs. But she came in today, or she's come in this game to pitch. She threw 105 total pitches last game, and she's thrown, 10 pitches so far. So she's thrown 115 pitches so far today, and still going strong. As Gutierrez will come back out for the Longhorns, and we'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. We welcome you back here to News Park in Starkville, Mississippi. Gutierrez is still the pitcher for the Longhorns, and up to bat for the Bulldogs is Sierra Sacco, the leadoff hitter. Bit of an update from around the country, so it looks like the baseball game has been delayed even further. No update yet, as Gutierrez deals and catches the top left corner for strike one. But earlier I said Ole Miss leads Michigan State, but Michigan State now leads by 2 as Gutierrez deals. Swing and a miss by Sacco. 0-2 is the count with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th. But Michigan State now leads by 2 with about 20 seconds left to go in the game. As Gutierrez gets a call. Delivers. Sacco fouls it straight down and nails her in the elbow. But foul ball, so count will remain 0-2 with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th. As Michigan State now leads by 4 and will look to advance to the Elite 8. We'll give you the score update there once it goes final, as Gutierrez deals and misses outside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count, no outs. And Tennessee leads Kentucky by 12 with about 9 to go in the second. So those two games could ruin a lot of other people's brackets should Michigan State win or Ole Miss come back and win, as Gutierrez deals and misses low for ball 2, 2-2 the count. And should Tennessee win, a lot of Kentucky fans and Kentucky hopefuls, brackets are done, or vice versa if Kentucky can climb back out of this 12-point hole. As Gutierrez deals, and strike 3 as Sierra Sacco strikes out. So out number 1 as Nadia Barbary up to bat now for the Bulldogs. Sacco officially struck out looking as Nadia Barbary, who is 1 for 2 on the day, singled and later got thrown out at third and grounded out in the third. So the single was in the first and ground out was the third as Gutierrez pitches for strike 1, 0-1 with 1 out, as fans once again not happy with that call, want consistency, but these umps are human. Got to give him the benefit of the doubt as Gutierrez pitches. Barbary pops it up. It's heading towards shallow right field and caught by the second baseman, Scott, for out number 2. So Jesse Blaine up to bat with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's Gutierrez, who has given up 1 of 3, the 3 runs scored by the Bulldogs today, as pitch comes in low for ball 1, 2 outs. Has done a really good job for the Longhorns so far. As Gutierrez deals. Swing and a miss by Blaine. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. As Gutierrez gets set, delivers. Blaine fouls it straight down, but looks like she thought it stayed fair. Tanya Cash in no hurry to call a foul ball. So Blaine took off for third, but foul is the call. So 1-2 is the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Bulldogs lead 3-1. As Blaine set, Gutierrez deals and misses outside. Full count with 2 outs for Jesse Blaine, who is 2 for 2 on the day. Singled in the first, didn't advance any further. Doubled in the first and didn't advance past second. But singled and then advanced to second and the third, but that's as far as she went. As Gutierrez deals, Blaine grounds towards shortstop and it gets past the shortstop. Good. So Blaine will remain perfect for the day in hitting, 3 for 3 with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 5th. And Kylie Edwards, the shortstop, is now up to bat. Edwards had a pair of spectacular catches in the first game today. As Gutierrez delivers. Edwards towards center field, and it falls. So she'll get a 2-out single with a runner on first, and Blaine will advance to second safely. So Edward, who was walked in both of her appearances, now all she needed was one pitch to get a single. A 2-out single as Kiara Sells is up to bat. Sells plays right field for the Bulldogs. She reached on fielder's choice in the first, and then a sac fly in the third as Gutierrez deals. Sells grounds, caught by the third baseman over the first for out number 3. So Stewart, just a great job corralling it, getting it over to first in time. As fans back out on the platform and outfield hold up a neon sign that says Hail State, or neon letters with lights that says Hail State, and Hail State indeed, as the Bulldogs are up 3-1 heading into the top of the 6th. And great turnout here, as you can hear the fans getting loud. These fans are proud to be Bulldog fans, Bulldog supporters, and some even Bulldog family. They have daughters, granddaughters, cousins, nieces out here on the field playing for the Bulldogs. And as a student here at Mississippi State and a part of a student broadcasting network, I too am proud to call this, where here in Starkville, softball isn't just softball. It's a way of life for many. And as of right now, it's some might say our only glimmer of hope. As football season, we all know how that went. Basketball season had a up and down for men's. They lost in the first round of the tournament to Baylor. The women's team had an up and down season as well. They lost in the second round of the tournament to USC. Baseball had a pretty good start and then just kind of fell off, as they are still in a rain delay. But softball has kind of been that one hip hip hooray thing for a lot of Bulldog faithful, as the Bulldogs have already beat the number 1 Longhorns today, and will look to win this series with a win in this game, so that the game on Sunday is just another game. Yes, it matters, but they won the series. As Chafin has Caden Henry, the center fielder, up to bat, who's 0 for 2, as Chafin deals, and ball 1 misses down and outside to the left. As Henry struck out looking in the first and flew out in the fourth. And we do have a final. Michigan State beats Ole Miss 73-70. And here at the Bulldog Student Sports Network, we wish your bracket luck, and as things finalize out here, that you will finish out the league or your group strong. And should any money be on the line, that you win and get that prize. As Everett deals for strike 1. So 1-1 the count with no outs. As Everett Chafin deals and misses low for ball 2. So 2-1 is the count. And a bit of an update of the Tennessee-Kentucky game. Tennessee now leads by 17. So something to keep your eye on. As Chafin deals, and it's hard hit to shallow right field and falls for Henry for a base hit. And a single to start the top of the 6th. Down by 2 are the Longhorns. Kentucky-Michigan game getting ready to start soon. Or sorry, the Auburn-Michigan game getting ready to start soon. The Purdue-Houston game will start in about an hour. And North Carolina State has increased their lead, or now trail by 3 with 37 seconds left to go in the game. For women's, as Chafin deals, catches the outside for strike 1. 0-1 the count with no outs. Runner on first. Mia Scott, second baseman, up to bat. She grounded out in the first and homered a solo home run in the fourth. as Chafin delivers and misses the bottom left for ball 1. 1-1 is the count with no outs. So, if you're into women's basketball, have a women's bracket, watch this LSU NC State game. Chafin deals. Runner goes, and safe, just barely at second. Wesolowski had great pop-up, great throw, as Kylie Edwards feels like she got Henry out at second. She asked for a challenge, and Samantha Ricketts agrees and challenges the call of runner is safe at second. It was really close to me. As the umpire tries to make the announcement, but his mic doesn't seem to work, and the fans let him know, and he's like, nothing I can do about it. So, should the call be overturned, that'll be the first out of the inning here at the top of the sixth. If not, runner will be safe at second with no outs. 1-1 is the count for Scott. The second baseman for the Longhorns up to bat. As fans start the maroon and white chant here. A staple in Starkville for state sports. And when it gets going, fans get into it. That is for sure. And after review, the call is upheld. Runner at second and safe. From my view up here, it looked like a good call. It was literally like a millisecond too late. It's unfortunate, but nothing you can do about it. As Mia Scott has a 1-1 count, runner on second, no outs. As Chafin is waiting, and the third base ump, Donald Brown, calls time to talk to Mike White, the head coach and the third base coach. And it looks like a pitch clock infraction or something against the Longhorns will make the count now 1-2. Or something. And Chafin delivers. And off-speed pitch just high of the zone. So good call there by Tanya Cash to make the count 2-2, even though fans disagree. It was a good call. I believe fans are more upset with the inconsistency, but it is what it is as Chafin deals. Grounded over towards first. Hole corrals it. Steps on first for out one as Henry, who was at second, advances to third on a ground out. So with one out, the catcher for the Longhorns, Reese Atwood, who's 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out and popped out, will be up to bat. Chafin deals and misses outside for ball 1. 1-0 count, 1 out. And fans are letting home plate umpire Tanya Cash hear it. It's the inconsistency, but they are human. Chafin deals. Swing and a miss from the off speed. So 1-1 is the count with 1 out. Runner on third here in the top of the sixth. Bulldogs lead 3-1. As time is called by Atwood. She's just trying to regroup after that off speed, expecting fastball. Chafin delivers, misses down and low for ball 2. So 2-1 is the count with 1 out. Runner on third. That's Atwood back in the box. Chafin set. Chafin gets the call and delivers. And it's hit into left centerish, and runner at third advances and scores. So score now 3-2 here in the top of the sixth, thanks to a RBI single by Atwood. And the designated player Katie Simmons. Sorry, Katie Simmons. Not Simmons, Simmons. Spelled C-I-M-U-S-Z, but it's pronounced Simmons, or Simmons, M-I, not M-U. Chafin deals. And right down the middle for strike one. So 0-1 is the count. 0-1 is the count with one out, runner on first. And here's Chafin deals, swing and a miss, strike two by Simmons. So 0-2 with one out, runner on first. One run already scored here in the top of the sixth for the Longhorns, but they still trail 3-2 here in Starkville. As Chafin deals, misses outside. Wesolowski throws to first, but Atwood gets back safely to first, so count will be 1-2 with one out, runner still at first. As Chafin delivers, and it's popped straight back for foul, so count will remain 1-2 with one out here in the top of the sixth. Submits, grounded out in the second, and singled in the fourth. And she's back in the box facing a 1-2 count against Raylan Chafin. And Chafin deals, ground straight back to her. She throws back to second. Out one. Kind of a wild throw by Chafin. She kind of was caught off guard, not sure what to do, but Edwards able to corral it and either step on the bag or apply the tag to Atwood. Phenomenal athletic ability there by Edwards. Nothing much he can do, but as Atwood, but just spectacular job there by the shortstop. As Leanne Good will be up to bat with two outs here in the top of the sixth. One run scored, 2-3 is the score. Longhorns trail over the Lady Bulldogs of Mississippi State. As Chafin gets the call and deals. And misses way inside for ball one. 1-0 is the count. As we are now about an inning and a half in the third, so not really sure how to do the math there, but Chafin deals and catches the ball in the zone for strike one. So 1-1 to count with two outs, but I'd say just about 1.5 innings. The fans can taste the series win over the top-ranked Longhorns. As Chafin delivers, runner goes, throw to second, past Edwards into the outfield. Sacco gets it, but Wallace, who was pinch running for Summits, advances to third. So she stole second, and then on a wild throw advances to third. So that will be the first error for the Bulldogs. So one error apiece. As it looks like Samantha Ricketts wants to challenge maybe better interference. As we're going to take a moment to listen. So it looks like they're challenging that the runner left early. So if the runner did leave early, I believe it will be an out number 3. as the fans back in outfield are starting a chant of Hail State. They're having a bit of trouble near the end, but the fans get the idea, and chant along as here comes a call by Donald Brown, who has the mic today. As he actually takes a second to maybe talk to the umpires through the little comms they have, or just listen in. Because you know these umps have comms, they talk to each other, and then just one has the mic to talk to the replay booth. I believe, I don't know exactly for sure. And then to talk to the fans here at News Park. But the second challenge in the same inning for Samantha Ricketts and the Lady Bulldogs, knowing how huge a win tonight would be, not just for SEC play. And the call is upheld, so the runner didn't leave early, and she is safe. So 1-1 is the count with 2 outs, runner on third, and Leanne Good, the shortstop, is up to bat in the top of the 6th, as the Longhorns will look to tie things up. So 1 error apiece, as the state pitching staff asked for time to just clarify a question. Gets the question clarified. What that question is, I do not know. But Chafin gets the call. Deals. And off speed inside, straight down the middle. Off speed straight down the middle for strike 2. Okay, 2-2 is the call with 2 outs. I'm a bit confused here, but Chafin deals, and it's grounded towards first. Hull runs over and dives for first. Is called out by first base umpire Michael Thibodeau. Longhorns say they were safe. Hull says she was out. Thibodeau says she was out, but there'll either be a review or a challenge by the Longhorns. This is a huge review because the Longhorns did have a runner score, so it'd be all tied up here. As Texas does challenge the call. The call in the field was out. So probably by far the biggest call of the night. And this is the 3rd review here in the top of the 6th. As here comes the call. And the call in the field is upheld. She is out. So out number 3 for the Bulldogs. Huge, huge, huge call for them. Heading into the bottom of the 6th, still up by 1 as they look to advance their lead to more than just 1. You can tell that took the wind out of the sails for the Longhorns and added the wind back into the Bulldogs' sails. As we're headed to the bottom of the 6th, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
Only blue talking love.
to Starkville, Mississippi, as we start the bottom of the second. Excuse me, bottom of the sixth. It's been a long day. I've been here at News Park since about 3 p.m. It is almost 9 p.m. here, Central Time Zone. And as the Bulldogs lead the Longhorns 3-2 in the second game of this doubleheader. They won the first game 4-3 thanks to a RBI walk-off double by Paige Ernstes. Paige Ernstes, yes. As Morgan Bernardini apparently. That's how the in-house voice said, as Gutierrez pitches for strike one, straight down the middle. So 0-1 is the count with no outs here. But a bit of an update from the women's basketball tournament. LSU ended up beating NC State by 7 as Gutierrez deals. Bernardini grounds towards third, grabbed, thrown over to first, and not in time. Bernardini beats out the throw and is safe at first. Just more wind added to the sails of the Bulldogs as they will have a pinch runner for Morgan Bernardini, which is Kaylani Sells. Bernardini was 0 for 2 heading into that at-bat, but then singles and gets there safely. As Ella Wesolowski, who came in for Jesse Blaine behind the plate, is now up to bat. She's batting at 148 on the season. She has 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, been walked once, struck out 4 times, 2 doubles, no triples, and a homer. As Kaylani Sells, who is the runner on first, has successfully stolen 3 bases. As Wesolowski showed bunt, but fouled off the bunt. So 0-1 is the count with no outs, runner on first here in the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs looking to extend their 1-run lead as Gutierrez pitches, catches inside for strike 2. So 0-2 is the call. As Wesolowski steps into the box. Gutierrez gets the call, deals, and up high for ball 1. So 1-2 the count for Wesolowski. So keep an eye on Kaylani Sells here. She might try and steal with 2 strikes here to avoid a double play as Gutierrez deals. And swing and a miss by Wesolowski. Strike 3, out number 1. Gutierrez' 4th strikeout of the game. As Riley Hull, the first baseman, now up to bat. Hull is 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out in the 2nd and struck out looking in the 4th. As it looks like, actually, just like to end the first game, Riley Hull has a pinch hitter. Guess who? That's right, Paige Ernstes. Ernstes had the walk-off RBI double. And as Gutierrez pitches, catches inside for strike 1. She had the walk-off double to give State the win in the game earlier. She is batting .393 on the season, 11 hits, 4 runs, 6 RBIs, 3 strikeouts, been walked 4 times. The pitch comes. And up high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1. Or apologies, it might have been strike 2. Not sure. Scoreboard says something different as the pitch comes and is outside. This one is for sure a ball, but okay, so it looks like it was called a strike. So 1 and 2 is a count with 1 out. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what the umpire was saying as Gutierrez pitches inside and catches inside corner. Okay, so the count is 2 and 2 now. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. So I was correct. So that one pitch that I said was a ball, but the scoreboard said was a strike, was actually a ball, and that was strike 2 as Gutierrez deals. Ernstes hits it and foul. Back towards the Bulldog bullpen. As Ernstes looking to stay alive with a 2-2 count, 1 out, runner on first. Pitch comes, and down low for ball 3. So 3-2 is the count, or a 3-2-1 with 1 out. As the Michigan-Auburn game about ready to get underway in about 10 minutes. And Kentucky trails by 14 to Tennessee with about a minute and a half left as Gutierrez pitches. Ernstes hits it up down towards the Bulldog dugout and foul. So count remains 3-2 as Ernstes stays alive. And Morgan Stiles is on deck for the Bulldogs. Gutierrez gets a call, gets set, and deals. Ernstes hits it back, foul. So count remains 3-2 with a 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. As it looks like time is called by the Longhorns. As home plate umpire Tanya Cash says time in. Gutierrez pitches. Straight down the middle for strike 3. Runner at first steals for second. Throw is well in time. So a strikeout and a caught stolen to end the inning for the Longhorns. Score remains 3-2 here. Heading into the top of the 7th. As the Longhorns need at least 1 run to stay alive. If the Bulldogs can get a 1-2-3 or get out of the top of the inning with no runs scored, they will win the game and win the series against Texas A&M. Or Texas A&M. Apologies to all the Texas fans out there. Yeah, it's been, as I said before, it's been a long day. And we've called for pretty much 4 hours. Your mouth gets dry, your brain starts frying, and you say the wrong things. But they will win the series over Texas, who is currently the number 1 ranked team in the country for softball. But first, Chafin's got to take care of Stewart, who was 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. One thing to note is Chafin does not have a strikeout in this game. But we'll be back in just a few moments. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. We welcome you back here to Starkville, Mississippi, top of the 7th. Has some AC/DC plays here in News Parks. The song you just heard was Iron Man. Oh, sorry, it wasn't AC/DC, it was Black Sabbath. As Chafin deals and straight down the middle for strike 1. A bit too young to really know by sound and memory which band is which, but that was Black Sabbath, Iron Man, not AC/DC. Apologies to all those AD music lovers. Chafin has an 0-1 count and deals to Stewart. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And Chafin delivers an off-speed little slider that started out in the zone and dipped down below. So 0-2 the count, no outs, no runners on. Longhorns trail by 1 here in the top of the 7th. Chafin gets a call, gets set, and delivers. And it's fouled straight back by Stewart to stay alive. 0-2 is the count. Stewart steps into the box. Gets set. So does Chafin. Chafin starts her delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Out number 1 in the top of the 7th. Chafin's first strikeout of the game. 130th of the season. And the Bulldogs are now 2 outs away from winning this game and winning this series against the number 1 ranked Longhorns. As the 8th hole hitter for the Longhorns, Jolie Mitchell, up to bat. She's 0 for 1 on the day, lined out in the 3rd. And off of a fielder's, or she struck out and reached, I believe, in the 5th. Something like that. Still learning the scorebox abbreviations, but 1-0 is the count with 1 out, and Chafin gets the call. Gets set, delivers, and swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 is the count with 1 out, a.k.a. ones across the board. And it looks like Mitchell had a sack bunt in the 5th. That's what it was. And Chafin deals. Hit towards center field. It's going back. It's ranging back, and that is gone. Longhorns tie it up off of a Jolie Mitchell solo homer with 1 out. Chafin just let it hang over the plate just a tad bit too long. And the Longhorns stay alive here. As that ball was well hit. Flew past the outfield wall and past the stands, the fans standing against it, and went past the fire truck that's parked out there. So that, if that says anything, that was a well hit ball for Mitchell. And it's Katie Bennett, the left fielder, is up to bat. She is 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the 3rd, flew out in the 5th. As Chafin deals and catches the bottom left corner for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count for Katie Bennett. As Chafin gets the call, starts her delivery, and catches the outside for strike 2. As this is just in, Tennessee beats Kentucky to advance to the Elite 8. So check your bracket, see how they're doing, as we still have 2 games to go here for the men's tournament. As Chafin gets the call, delivers, and misses outside for ball 1. 1-2. That one was pretty clear outside. The fans still don't like it because they believe she's called some like that as strikes. But either way, 1-2 is the count with 1 out for Katie Bennett. As Chafin gets the call and delivers. And it's popped up, foul, and hits the net, so she will stay alive. As Wesolowski grabs the ball, tosses it back to Chafin. And the left-handed batter will look to not strike out against the right-handed pitcher. Now Chafin gets the call, starts the windup, and delivers. Misses outside for ball 2. 2-2 is the count with 1 out. Fans do not like that call whatsoever, but great call there by Tanya Cash. I will say this, I've said this once and I will say it again. Believe fans aren't upset about the call, but about the inconsistency. But once again, they are human. You have to let some things go as Chafin deals. Grounds towards shortstop. Edwards corrals it over to first, and Bennett beats out the throw and is safe at first. So a 1-out single here in the top of the 7th after a solo homer by Mitchell to tie things up. As the top of the order comes for the Longhorns, as Ashley Maloney, the right fielder, comes up to bat. She's 0 for 3 on the day, grounded out, struck out, and flew out. As Delaney Chafin deals and misses outside for ball 1. Or sorry, just strike 1. Missed that call there, was looking down at my notes. So 0-1 is the count with 1 out, runner on first as Chafin deals. Hits towards left, and Kaylani Sells, who came in, grabs it off the 1 bouncer, and it will be a single for Maloney. Runners on first and second now for the Longhorns with 1 out. And up to bat for the Longhorns is Caden Henry, the lefty hitter. Just 3 straight lefties. Should she get on base or just 1 out here? The Bulldogs will face 4 straight lefties. As Wasilewski comes to the circle, talks to Chafin, encourages her, and tells her to keep doing what she's doing. Just maybe pink the corners more if she can. So 1 out, runners on first and second for Caden Henry, the center fielder of the Longhorns, as Chafin deals and tries to paint the corner but misses. So 1-0 is the count with 1 out. And we are all tied up here in Starkville. Trailing after 6, the Longhorns tie it up as a grounder and gets right between, bobbled by the center fielder, and the Longhorns take the lead. So basically just a easier wrap-up of what happened. So Henry grounded in between the shortstop and second. Edwards was playing closer towards third. Stiles was playing closer to first. Basically went right over second base. Sanko kind of bobbled it, unable to get the throw in to home, which allowed the Longhorns to get a runner home to take the lead 4-3. And that right there shows you why the Longhorns are the #1 team in the nation for softball, as we have a circle visit wrapping up for the Bulldogs. And the fans trying to encourage these Lady Diamond Dogs to a victory to get out of this inning and head to the bottom of the 7th and walk it off once again. Should the Longhorns escape here with a victory, Sunday will be a great game to decide the series. As runners on first and second, and Mia Scott, the second baseman, up to bat. Chafin deals. Misses outside for ball 1. So 1-0 is the count with 1 out. Mia Scott is 1 for 3 on the day. Grounded in the first, homered in the 4th, and grounded in the 6th. As the Texas fans who traveled this long way are getting loud as Chafin deals. Swing, no. Third base umpire Donald Brown said Mia Scott did not swing. It looked like she swung to me, but the ump said no. Fans do not like it. 2-0 is the count with 1 out. And Chafin delivers. It's hit towards left field. Going back is left fielder Kaylani Sells, and it is gone. A 3-run homer for the Longhorns to increase their lead to 7-3 now. So a 5-run inning here for the Longhorns makes it 7-3. You can't blame Chafin. Chafin has pitched 158 pitches today. But the Longhorns are showing the offensive firepower they have and have taken advantage here in the 7th. As we have another circle visit, and it looks like we will most likely have a pitcher change for the Bulldogs. Chafin will be done after a tremendous outing today by her, and Lexi Sosa will come in. Sosa is a graduate and has not only pitched but hit. She is a great hitter and a great pitcher. And when we come back, we'll tell you a bit more about her. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. So we welcome you back to the top of the 7th as Lexi Sosa is the new pitcher for the Bulldogs, and Jesse Blaine now the catcher. Lexi Sosa has a 3.7 ERA on the season, has pitched 27.1 innings, and allowed 33 hits, 14 runs, 12 of them earned, 7 walks, 23 strikeouts, 4 doubles, a triple, and a homer. As her first pitch catches his own for strike 1. With 1 out, bases empty. Bulldogs trail by 4 here. In the top of the 7th as Sosa delivers and is popped up. Foul. So 0-2 now the count. And Sosa, the right-handed pitcher, faces Reese Atwood, the catcher who bats right. Atwood is 1 for 3 on the day, grounded in the 2nd, popped out in the 4th, and had the RBI single in the 6th. As the Mississippi State baseball team taking on an LSU game has just started as Sosa pitches up high for ball 1. So 1-2 the count, 1 out, nobody on. But the Bulldogs are in the top of the 1st. Their first batter, Sanders, flied out. So now it is Bryce Chance up to bat. And Sosa winds, delivers, and it's fouled straight back towards the Bulldog dugout. You sure are glad for fouls like that you have the wall and fence there to keep you safe, because that thing was a bullet. Just, I didn't even see it. All I heard was a smack, and the count remains 1-2 with 1 out. As a quiet hush has fallen over the State faithful, but Sosa delivers and misses out wide for 2-2 with 1 out. But the State fans know this game isn't over, especially after what happened earlier today. They need 4 runs to tie in the bottom of the 7th, 5 to win. Know it is possible, but still that nervous gut feeling has crept into their stomach. As Sosa gets the call and delivers, and it's down the left field line, foul. So count remains 2-2 with 1 out, nobody on. As this game has turned out just as every bit interesting as we thought it would have after how the first game ended earlier today. Atwood, set, Sosa deals. It's down the left field line, foul again. As the in-house DJ trying to pump the fans back up, bring some energy back into News Park. As I said earlier, fans anxiously watching. Sosa deals. It's hard hit straight into center field by Atwood for a 1-out single. A good battle there. Atwood almost forced Sosa's hand to give her what she wanted. As the new designated player for the Longhorns was supposed to be Adaya Wallace, but instead, Adaya Wallace won't come in, but Katie Submits will remain the designated player. She is 1 for 3 on the day, grounded, singled, fielder's choice. As Sosa gets the call, delivers, and inside for ball 1. So 1-0's the count with 1 out, runner on first. In the top of the 7th, the Longhorns offense has come alive here. 5 runs scored. And partially thanks to a 3-run homer as Sosa delivers and fouled straight down by Submits. But a 3-run homer by Scott to increase the 4-3 lead of the Longhorns to 7-3. As the count is 1-1 with 1 out and runner on first here in the top of the 7th as Sosa deals. And Submits hits it straight back, foul, almost into the Longhorns dugout, but falls just outside. So 1-2 the count with 1 out. Sosa looking to get a strikeout here or an easy out as the pitch comes. And it's down the left field line. It's going, and it is foul. So good contact by Submits. Just too early of a swing there. As a bit of an update of the baseball team, they went 1-2-3 in the top of the first as they head to the bottom of the first. And Sosa delivers. Blaine throws it towards first off of the ball, but Atwood at first able to get there safe. So 2-2 is the count with 1 out. As Submits back in the box. Sosa delivers. Down low. Full count with 1 out. So a 3-2-1 with a runner at first in the top of the 7th. Bulldogs trail by 4. I know the Bulldogs have already let 5 runs score, but the last thing you would want here is a walk. And Sosa delivers, and it's popped up towards center field. Sacco stands there and catches it just past the Teal State logo in memory of Alex Wilcock. For those of you who missed it earlier, this is the Alex Wilcock weekend, or for Alex weekend. It's honored all across the SEC. She was a member of the 2018 Mississippi State softball team and tragically passed away after a courageous battle against ovarian cancer. So this is just an awareness weekend, and Sosa deals off speed for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count with 2 outs, a runner at first. So normally the game that's being played right now, which would have been played tomorrow if not for the impending weather, both teams would have wore teal uniforms or teal accent uniforms. As a fastball pitch, it's called ball. So 1-1 is the count with 2 outs, runner at first. But because of the impending weather, they moved tomorrow's game to tonight to do a doubleheader. Moved the game originally today to earlier, and they will wear the teal or accented teal uniforms on Sunday as that pitch comes and is fouled back by Good, who's 0 for 3 on the day, struck out, flew out, grounded out. So the count was 1-2 with 2 outs. But so Sunday, as I was saying, they'll have the teal or teal accent uniforms where, as permitted, the rest of the SEC will wear them tomorrow. As Sosa deals, it's hit towards center field, and Sacco grabs it for out number 3. So after a 5-run inning, after 5 runs allowed, Sosa comes in, puts the bleeding to an end to get to the bottom of the 7th. Bulldogs trail by 4 and will need a 5-run bottom of the 7th to win, or a 4-run bottom of the 7th to tie things up and send it to extra innings. But going back to what I was saying, just a great weekend. Something you love to see, just the support of the SEC and how the SEC's motto, if it just means more, how true it is with weekends like this. But we're going to take a quick break as we have about a minute and a half till the start of the bottom of the 7th. And Gutierrez is still the pitcher for the Longhorns, and Morgan Styles up to bat for the Bulldogs. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling.
Bottom of the 7th here in Starkville, Mississippi. Bulldogs trail 7-3 as Gutierrez deals strike 1 to Morgan Styles. The second baseman, Styles, is 1 for 2 on the day. Homered in the second, flew out in the 4th. Her homer was a solo in the second as Gutierrez deals. And swing and a miss, strike 2. Styles' homer was the second of that inning to put the Bulldogs up 2-0. As Gutierrez deals. Styles grounds towards third. Past the third baseman to the shortstop over to first. It's a wild throw, but Styles stays at first for a single to start the bottom of the 7th and get this rally started for the Bulldogs as the leadoff hitter, Sierra Sacco, up for the Bulldogs. Sacco hasn't had a great game during the second game. She scored earlier today in the first game, but today is 0 for 3. If there's any time you need her to get hot, it is now. That is for sure. As Gutierrez gets the call, delivers up high for ball 1. So 1-0 is the count. As there's a circle visit for the Longhorns, but Sanko grounded out in the first, struck out looking the second and the 5th. Not something you want to see from your best hitter. As the circle visit is over, catcher Atwood jogs back. Sacco makes her way back into the box with a runner at first, and a 1-0 count with no outs. Now the Longhorns have had 10 hits on 31 at-bats as Gutierrez deals, misses outside for ball 2, so 2-0 the count with no outs. But they are 10 for 31 for a batting average of .323. Well, the Bulldogs are 8 for 24 with a batting average of .333. So the Bulldogs have a better batting averages, but just haven't been able to capitalize. As Sacco gets ball 3. So 3-0 the count with a runner on first, no outs. So it looks like Gutierrez may be steering away from anything in the zone to not give Sacco a chance to send long. As Gutierrez deals. And up high for ball 4. So a runner on first advances to second thanks to a 4-ball walk. Sierra Sacco, as we now have a circle visit with the Longhorns pitching coaches coming out, and Nadia Barbary up to bat after this visit. And it looks like there might be a pitching change for the Longhorns, as Gutierrez looks like she's making her way towards the bench. So there will be a pitching change as another right-handed pitcher comes out for the Longhorns. Not sure who it is yet, but it looks like it is number 12 for the Longhorns. Victoria Hunter, a sophomore, who also plays infield. I can't tell from up here, but I think I saw a 12, but it could be a 17, so it could be Tegan Kavan again, who pitched in the first game for the Longhorns, but her number's hidden from me at the moment as she's exchanging pitch comms with Gutierrez as she jogs out to the circle, and it is number 17, Tegan Kavan. So both pitchers from the first game today are pitching in the second game, as the Bulldogs have runners on first and second, no outs, and Nadia Barbary up to bat. She's batting .368 on the season with 42 hits, 29 runs, 28 RBIs, been walked 12 times, struck out 6, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 7 homers. She singled and reached third, but then was thrown out at third on the first, grounded out in the third, popped out in the fifth. And one thing about the runners on base for the Bulldogs, Morgan Stiles, who's at second, hasn't attempted any stolen bases this year, while Sierra Sacco has attempted 13 and been caught 3 times, so an 81.3% stolen base success rate. As Tegan Kavan finishes warming up. So the Longhorns have that final meeting in the circle to give the Bulldog batters or Bulldog runners a chance to get back to their bases before they pitch to Nadia Barbary. As Atwood jogs back to the plate, Barbary looks on, knowing she needs to at least get on base, but the pressure not at the highest. Yes, the pressure is there, but at least there are no outs for her. As Barbary gets the pitch, hits it down the right field line, and it falls foul. Just barely foul. The right fielder, Maloney, dove for it, but just past the glove. So 0-1 the count with no outs. Runners on first and second. Had that been fair, probably would have been an out. But it was almost an out, even though it was foul. As the pitch comes, Barbary fouls it off. Fouls it off for strike 2, 0-2. That pitch was high, but she kind of went and it glanced off of her bat, even though she tried to hold up. So 0-2 is the count, no outs. Runners on first is second as Kavan deals. Barbary swings the miss, strike 3, out number 1. As Jessie Blaine, the catcher for the Bulldogs, back up to bat. Blaine is 2 for 3 on the day. A double in the second, a triple in the third, and reached on an error in the fifth. As Blaine gets the pitch and catches the top left of the zone for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th with runners on first and second, Jessie Blaine gets the pitch, swings and miss, strike 2. You can tell the Bulldogs a bit desperate looking to climb back in, down by 4 after a 5-run inning by the Longhorns. As Kavon deals. Barbary swings and miss, strike 3, out 2. Longhorns are 1 win away from the rubber match on Sunday to be the game for the series. Should that happen, that game will be very interesting. You should tune into my good friend Ty Goldman calling that game as Kavon deals. Edwards grounds it towards shortstop. Shortstop grabs it over to first and out at first. Good, gets the throw in time to Mitchell. Ump says out. Bulldogs say she's safe as first base ump says out, but they're going to review the call since this will decide the game. As it looks like he's just going to go ahead and get the review started without letting us know, because we all know what the review is going to be about. As here comes the call. And the call is upheld. The runner is out. So that is the ball game. After winning the first one, 4-3, Bulldogs fall 7-3 here in the second game of the doubleheader. Series now tied 1-1, and it will head to the winner of the rubber match for the game on Sunday, where both teams will wear the teal or teal accent uniforms. We're just going to go ahead and do the post game right now, as it is already almost 9:30 Central Time. We've been here since about 3, maybe earlier. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get the post game going to allow you guys to get on with your evenings, get to bed, and allow me to pack up and get out of here at a decent time. So just a scoring recap. In the bottom of the second, Bulldogs had 2 home runs, one by Lexi Sosa, other one by Morgan Stiles. Sosa homered down the right field line. Stiles homered to left center. Bulldogs led 2-0 after 2. Bottom of the third, still 2-0. Kiara Sells, sac fly out to center field. Greta Grassel scored from third. Top of the fourth, Longhorns got a solo homer by Scott to make it 3-1. Top of the sixth, Atwood RBI single to make it 3-2. And then the top of the seventh, we had a solo home run by Mitchell, a RBI single by Henry, and at that point it was 3-3. Or sorry, 4-3. I can't do math, it seems like, folks. And then a 3-run home run by Scott made it 7-3 Longhorns. Bulldogs able to get out of the top of the seventh with Lexi Sosa, but unable to do anything after the first 2 batters in the bottom of the seventh got on base. So we will see who wins this series on Sunday. A big one for both teams, as both teams are now 6-2 in SEC play. And we'll look for that big win on Sunday to get the advantage on the other. That will surely be very important as we get closer to the SEC tournament seeding. But it's been a pleasure for me, Zach Sizemore, to call this for you all. Both of the games in this doubleheader today that kicked off the All for Alex weekend. And in case you missed it, the All for Alex weekend is recognized all over the SEC for a 2018 softball player, Alex Wilcox. She was a phenomenal player, a huge part of the team, but she unfortunately passed away to ovarian cancer. It was a courageous battle, but sometimes it gets the best of you, and we are grateful for the opportunity as the Bulldog Student Sports Network to bring to you not just Mississippi State softball, but Mississippi State athletics in general. Make sure you go and follow our X or our Twitter at Bulldog Student Sports Network. Follow our Instagram, also at Bulldog Student Sports Network, and our YouTube. When you subscribe to our YouTube, make sure you hit the little bell so you get notified whenever we go live, so you can tune in. And as I said before, we'll be back again live on Sunday for the rubber match against the number 1 Longhorns and the 18th ranked Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Ty Goldman will have the call, and it should be a really good one. This is Good Night from News Park. Zach Sizemore wish you the best. And you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.